Welcome back to the live session, traders, for another trading days. And we had a pretty busy session yesterday, and I'm looking at today's session to see what we have in this NOI session. And FOMC, we have seen there was a significant move during the FOMC, and so beginning with some send over till it's over. That's a very interesting. And there's a rate card 25 BPS, and that has created huge volatility in the market that you can see. And if we look at the overall picture, this is the daily market that I was looking at earlier today, and from this daily price section we will be looking at the overall direction in the market, and also we'll be looking at how we can find entry in this session. So let's look at the market structure, and we will be looking at daily, weekly, monthly on gold, and then we also will be looking at the lower time frame, higher time frame price action pattern to see whether we can find entry. And this is a exclusive live session to look at the market and to enter potential trading opportunity in this session. I hope that you guys are ready for another big trading days. If you're ready, make sure you like this stream and also subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done yet, press the notification bell so that you are not missing any of the content that I am posting every day. Looking for everyone to show up, and you can write yes in the live chat if you are here, or you can write Y. And we will be looking for trade setup from the multiple time frame perspective, and then we also will be looking at trade setup from the key level in the direction of the trend. So looking at first of all daily market structure, this is daily market structure that you can see back to back 2 days long week bullish candlestick pattern formation here in this market. And first of all, looking at the multiple time frame analysis, that will give us better understanding of the market structure, and also we'll see that what the market potentially can do in this dynamic market now. So looking at monthly, all right, so this is the monthly price action, and in that monthly price action, what we can see, this is a resistance line here. Okay, so if you look at that resistance from that level, we can see that I'm just looking at the multiple time frame, and then we will be looking at also the lower time frame. As you know that sometime, I'm being asked, okay, we don't trade on the monthly, it's a very higher time frame, but what's the point of looking at, because we can understand the flow in the market. So looking at this monthly, this is a monthly resistance where there is from this monthly resistance there is a rejection that we have seen in this market. And if we look at the weekly price action here, we can see that from the weekly, where now we can see a very an interesting price action that I would say, because if you look at the weekly and the monthly, it's a completely different picture. And then when you will see the lower time frame, it's gonna be a completely new market structure. But keeping an eye on the higher time frame is the best way to predict the market on a long run. So here is the weekly market structure, and in that weekly market structure, what we can see that this is the high and this is the low. So from this high to this low, the market is maintaining, we can see that it's a downtrending here. The price is rejecting from that higher price, and with this rejection from this higher price here, that we can see the market is currently started to pull back again below here. And looking at daily, if we look at the daily here, from this daily high, it's a pretty strong bearish engulfer here on the daily. And what we can see in this market, that as with the FOMC, the market has maintained this series of lower high, and with this series of lower high, it has created the daily bearish price action, and here it's maintaining that series of higher low, and also here series of lower high. So when we are going to the lower time frame, where is our entry criteria? That's what we are looking at in this market. So going to the intraday, that means that 4 hour, there is a long wick doji which has created, and if we look at the 15 minute, now we are looking at very lower time frame here. That if you guys look at, you can see this is a now here guys, this is we had an earlier trade in this market, and here the market in this area from the 15 minutes, if we look at, two significant bearish engulfer, right? And those two bearish engulfer has a very stronger liquidity sweep in this market, and that can bring that price again potentially back below here. So I'm looking at potential selling opportunity here in this market, though we can see there is a breakdown. The market is now on a pullback. So this is 1 hour, and also looking at the 30 minutes price action, that you can see this is a 30 minutes price action where there is a higher liquidity sweep in that area. If you look at, this is a 30 minutes doji followed by another 30 minutes doji, back to back, two important liquidity sweep here in that market. And as the market is grabbing that liquidity, we could see the price to potentially to return back below here in that zone. And as there is a, if you look at rejection from this higher price, I have already posted an analysis on TradingView earlier, and also there will be more analysis coming later in NOI session later. So make sure guys also keep up on all of that, because those analysis will give you great understanding about the market, the real-time update, and also trade setup. So if you don't know how to access those analysis, you can make sure you subscribe to the channel and also press the notification bell so that you are not missing those content that I am posting every day. So now at the moment, what we can see here in that area, this is a here is the liquidity sweep, and the market started to drop down from that level, and this 30 minutes price action, it is closing, and it's closing potential as a bearish engulfer, and I am little biased with bearish at the moment. So we will be using pending order for an entry if you want to see this market is breaking that low here. So far we can see that there's quite a few long week candlestick pattern here in this area is being formed, and with those long week candlestick pattern, expecting the market to break that support and then to continue to trend back below here to create a new lower low in this market. Here's the support, and we see that there is a liquidity sweep here, liquidity sweep. So whenever the market is breaking that resistance line here, all right, and we see that there is a rejection coming in that market, and with that rejection, if you look at here, this is a resistance line that you can see in the market. If you look at here, it's showing that breakdown. This is a bearish rejection, and with that bearish rejection here, that the market may eventually break that low here. So there is a recent low, this red bearish engulfer that you can see. The market has overextended above this level, and then it created this move. So we may see that the market to break this low or even potentially break this low here. So there is a possibility here for us to see that this market is maintaining a downtrending market structure. We'll be looking at an entry along the way as soon as we see the price has managed to break any of this key level of support or resistance. We trade based on the multiple time frame analysis, and I believe that, guys, you are also ready to enter any position coming. And what's your bias today on gold? You can share in the live chat. And I think the chat is on. Stream on. Hope that I'm not being ghosted, like, you know, sometime it happens, though you get shorts up. Welcome. All right, so here is, if you look at from this level, this is a complete bearish rejection here now. And the bias here is downside. And you can see after break of this low, it's trying to break that. The time frame is very important. So if you look at the 30 minutes, that you can see from this level, there is a complete breakdown here. All right. So looking at the multiple time frame is very important to see. And also, you know, this is where I have a previous entry during the London session breakout or breakdown, whatever you want to say, and I have already shared in detail of this trade in the free group. Also some trade I do share in the Telegram group, in the community. If you guys want to access to that, you can join that now, where there is a lot to learn. Okay, so I have also shared a complete comparison of the current market structure and what it can happen, because those analyses will give you a really great insight of the market. So this is what was shared in the free Telegram group. And if you look at here, you can see that this is a this is the key level, right? And side by side, I have shown that this is after we got the trade TP triggered, but and you can see that this is the key level. All right, so okay, and this is the key level, and as the market crossed that key level, and then we saw the rejection back. And that's the basis of this entry, because when the market cross the key level, especially in a falling market, okay, or in a rising market, once the market breaks the key level and then create a false breakout, there is a very higher chance of the market to reverse, okay? And that's the basis of reversal, okay? If you look at, because false breakout to the key level, guys, this will change the way you look at the market. False breakout to the key level is the best way to see overall change in the trend, because that's where the smart money trade the market. All right, so if you look at this one, you can see this is a 30 minutes bearish engulfer, followed by here that there is another bearish price action is being formed. And how the candlestick pattern formed will give you a very clear directional bias in the market. And so this is 30 minutes, right? And this is the current sessions. If you look at the 4 hour again, this is where the market, after the candle close, price got rejected. And now it's potentially breaking this trend line. And because there is a rejection from this higher price, the possibility here to drop down back even to this low, because the market left the imbalance in that direction. Imbalance looking at is important, because the market constantly moves from imbalance to the imbalance. So looking at this zone, this long wick, because the market is trending now in that direction, the chances for the price to cross this high, cross this low is very high. If you look at the daily here, you can see that, and it may come back here, and it may happen that today the price will drop and will go for a pullback, and the rest even may retest tomorrow, because we have one more days for the market to run before the weekly close. And this is the FOMC move. So it's, if you look at, this is a liquidity sweep drop, another liquidity sweep drop. So that trend could eventually come back here, and that's where you might see the market to reverse again back to the upside. So you see that the market structure is showing to be in that direction here. Now for us to enter, okay, so if you want to enter this market, we are looking at an entry. So I'm going to delete those levels again, and to see an entry. Okay, so this is the 1 minute price action. It's a trend, right? And it's a significant downtrend. So the price has just crossed this support, and this market can, eventually can come back here even. So there is a higher possibility for the market to be bearish here. it's a bearish engulfer, and we might see the price to trend. So there is a bias here below. Now because we got a bias, right, the trending bias, not a big peep here in this zone, but it's a very high probability potential move here back below to that you can see 80 peep. So here we will be looking at entry as soon as we can see the market manage to break any of this key level of support, key level of resistance, because we will be potentially selling this market here. So here you can see there is a initial move above that level where looking at potential entry here, and we can see that from this support, if you look at, it's now retesting this support as a resistance, and once the market managed to break below, that means showing enough rejection here. Okay, so for this possible drop down, we can look for selling opportunity here. Now we see there is an inverted head and shoulder, but I wouldn't prefer, that means give priority to the inverted head and shoulder. Rather, we will be looking at the trend here. So the trend is bearish. Okay, so we are always preferring the trend first. That's where you start to see that any pattern, head and shoulder, double bottom, or anything first comes with the trend. So there's a 15 minutes pin bar that being formed, and look at the 5 minutes. So looking at multiple time frame will always give you better understanding about the market structure. So this is the 4-hour price action, okay, and okay, there's a narrow doji here in that area, and so with this narrow doji, if we look at, we can see that there is a possibility for the market to break that low here, and we might be able to enter as soon as we find this suitable price action here in that area. And we see that there is a stronger bearish rejection coming again, which is showing that the market, this may be a false breakout, and you can see the price now slowly creating that bearish pressure here in that area. And I'm going to prefer for sell with a tight stop loss. That's what potential for us to enter. If you look at the 15 minutes, it's a bearish engulfer on the 15 minutes, and also the 5 minutes we can see it also bearish engulfer. It's closing as a bearish engulfer, and back to back to significant liquidity sweep. And here the market is slowly breaking that low, and that can lead that market back below here to create a new lower low. Now you're looking at here, if you look at that, after this false breakout, it again dropped down. Now if this market again is starting to reverse, you see new higher high. If we see that the market again trending back down, then we are looking at this market to potentially drop further low here, 4204, or even lower than this. So there is a 5 minutes candlestick pattern close. It's a full body candle close bearish engulfer on this lower time frame. This is a significant bearish price action, and we might see that the market to eventually come back well below or even crossing further low here in this area. And ready for an entry. That's a significant downside. So we see that there is a from here liquidity sweep. So multiple time frame analysis that we can see this market so far showing bearish price action, and we may see that the price to eventually could continue to drop down further here in that market. And there is a doji which is also showing possible further downward pressure, and in that market we could see the price eventually can break that low and then can continue to drop. So for us to enter, we want to find a better entry, and patience is key. Looking at that entry opportunity. Okay, so the price action showing that there is a bearish pressure. Now there is also one important aspect of this move is the fundamental. Okay, so if you guys looked at quite a few analysis also post, so how does the fundamental also influencing this move in the market? So silver was also going, they normally relate to each other. The rate cut eventually could be bullish for gold, and that's a bigger picture perspective, right? But the smaller time frame that you can see is currently showing bearish. Now this bearish move is eventually definitely if you look at the higher time frame, it's a pullback. So looking at the weekly market structure, if you look at this weekly price action, and you can see that this is the weekly market structure, and in this weekly, because when we look at weekly, it really gives us a very better understanding of the market structure. So this is the weekly price action that you can see, and in that weekly price action, starting from this weekly support, created this weekly bullish move, right? And this market, without any question, it's a long-term bullish market structure. Now in that long-term bullish market, if you look at this support level here, okay, this is a support, right? And in that support, where the price initially bounced off that support level. Now if we look at the two weekly lows that you can see, in both of these weekly lows there's a very important level that you can see. And what we could see that this market may break further, and the 2 weekly low, if we look at, they have a very smaller gap that you can see. It's only 60 to 65 pip gap, which is very narrow. And because they are very narrow, these 2 weekly gaps, there is a higher chance that this market could break the low, and that's a huge move can happen back to the upside, because coming below this low is where pure liquidity, that means that bullish move. And there is a doji here that you can see. This is a previous resistance turn support. In between this level, especially breaking that low below, we can take a big move, and that can take that market above this high here. So because there is a rejection from this higher price here, the possibility here for the market to break the low is very high. All right, so like, you know, it's like reasoning from a very fundamental perspective. Okay, you know, we are talking about the real trading. Reasoning is very important. Okay, so if you look at, if you want to be a really successful trader who can change, you know, lives, then definitely this is what you need to look at. That look at from very fundamental perspective, because you know there is a lot of research on trading psychology. Trading psychology is a big part of becoming a trader, right? If you are not developing a trading psychology, it's impossible. No matter how many strategy you learn, how much risk management you have, trading psychology is an integral part of becoming a successful, profitable trader. So, and according to research, the better trader are those who are curious in their approach of trading, right? So if you are curious, that's where you become better trader. And therefore it is always important to look at the market from all time frame perspective, and be always curious, be patient, and that's trading. So here is series of lower high. The market is maintaining the downtrend as we discussed, and it's showing that the price may eventually continue to drop here to create a new lower low in this market. So here it's a bear market at the moment, and we are looking at bearish entry as soon as we see any recent swing high is been broken. We can look for that entry. So there is a pin bar, and the market may create this bearish pressure here, and that might bring that market further lower. We'll be looking to see what kind of market structure is forming. So far it's showing a downward trend, and we can look for further bearish move here in this market. So there is a breakout structure, and the price now slowly trying to create that downtrending move. Creating a bearish price action now at the moment. And if we look at the calendar, there is no immediate news coming up, which will be around 1.5 hours later. Unemployment claims, and we are looking to see that if the market is breaking low further, and we will be looking at sell entry along the way. Planning for a potential sell. Do you have any different opinion? You can share your thought. I think because this is currently in a bearish trend, and so far this is the 15 minutes price action. So far there was a drop, and now it's on a pullback. Now this move can push the price back above, but at the moment this is the level the market is rejecting in this lower time frame. So it might create a sideways or the consolidation market structure here, and then could eventually can come back below in that direction. So we might see now a break of this high here. If you look at, and with that break of this high, if the market eventually return from that level, okay, that is where we are looking at potential sell. And here I will be placing a sell stop order below this low, and little zone here that you want to see the market. If it breaks that low back below, it's gonna be a sell stop order that you want to place it for any downtrending move, because this is the current swing low, and from the 5-minute chart that you see, the price has moved that from the 15 minutes as well, which is so far had a sharp rejection. So looking at this market to eventually, if it breaks below, then we can expect it to trend back further lower here. Okay, so I'm going to place a sell stop order in this market for this possible drop down. So sell stop at 4210.92. I will be placing the take profit target 4204.24. We'll keep that until the news, and then if we see that there is a change in news, we will be either modifying or adding. So it is a pending order that we placed, and So you see that there is a bullish trend lower time frame trying to break that high, but the trend here eventually still I'm considering is to be bearish because there is a sharp rejection from the top. Now we see that some upside here that can bring that market below here for another new lower low. It can still go back even higher. So if it is going up at the moment, we are not looking for any bullish entry, we are looking for the bearish entry here in that market. So back to rejection here. So let's look at now how the market is reacting. If this trend line is broken here, that's what you want to enter, because the major trend here is bearish. Locally we saw that bullish. Want to see the market is coming down, breaking from the trend line. And also coming up in nearly an hour, there is a very important unemployment claim. So if our trade is not triggered, then we will be waiting for the data to come up to see what is coming. If it goes too far, we will not be taking the trade and we'll be waiting for the new setup. So the market is having a rejection from this level, and might now go up for a deeper pullback in that area. So here is now the price has crossed the entire resistance line here back to the upside. So maybe moving up for a deeper liquidity sweep. gone to upside here, so it's possibility that the market to break any of this swing high. Okay, I'll still keep the pending order on, because if the market still there is a possibility for reversal here back below well here. Pending order is still on, because if this trend breaks, then we may see that the market to drop well below. Hello trader, welcome back to this live session. I hope that you're enjoying the live session. Make sure you like this stream and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. Press the notification bell so that you are not missing any of the content that I'm posting every day. Now we are looking at gold, and we placed the pending order in that area for those who have just joined. Just to clarify what we are looking at the moment. Now this is a key support level that you can see, and the market dropped well below, and then we see that now it's on a there is a rejection here, and that might bring that market back up again to create a new higher high. So far here is a one single bounce from this level back above, so that might now the market may go well to cross this high, but I am not being bullish yet in that area. So until we see the market has shown the confirmation here in that area. We might be closing the pending order shortly. But the trend today, so trend, we have seen that earlier from the, if we look at this, okay, so there is a rejection. So we have seen that earlier, depending on the what time frame you are looking at. So if we look at the 5 minutes trend here, there was a breakdown, and then from this support here we see that there's a again rejection. That means the market has a straight bounced off that level. Now this move that you can see can be move that can reverse back again from that level. Okay, so if you look at here, you can see that this is a level where the market has entirely can reverse back again from this key level. So the market structure that you can see, this is the 1 minute. Okay, so deleting the pending order, and we will be, because the market didn't trigger, we will be re-entering again as soon as it appears. Closing the pending order, we will be readjusting as soon as we find further. Closing the pending order, we will be re-entering again. Here we can see there is a breakout from here, and the current level of resistance is 4218 level, and that can play out here. Okay, so this is a big move back to the upside. Doesn't seem to me very sharply bullish, and rather it's now crossing this session's high, and in this session high, once the market going above this level, above this high, there is a, if you look at here, there's an imbalance, and the possibility here to create this low again, come back to this low, is high, because it's a one single move. And because it's a one single move, I will be looking at, in this move, after the price goes well above, potentially selling by market. Okay, so you can see the market has crossed that high and getting some rejection from that level. So I'm going to place sell here in this market with a around at a 1 minute to 2 ATR to 1.5 ATR stop loss, and TP target to this support level. So this is going to be 44 pip around the stop loss, or a bit higher. Stop loss at 422.52. Can readjust the stop loss if needed for if the entry is, so basically wherever entry around 43 pip stop loss. So the my entry here at the moment that I placed 4219.77. Placing the stop loss at 4223.6. So I adjusted the stop loss for 4223.60. So I'm on sell and gonna catch here potential move. So if we look at this 5 minutes price section, we see that there is a one single bullish bounce here, and this market has moved way very strongly back to the upside, and here looking to see that potential rejection from this higher price as the price has reached without any proper pullback here. So there is a possibility for another move. That's the basis of the entry with proper risk management and stop loss. And here looking at the lower time frame for the market to possibly drop that low back below, and we're going to see double top and drop. Let's see where the market is heading back. because this is an overextension, if it breaks down from here, we may see coming to the order block again. And we'll see news coming in around 30 to 50 53 minutes, so which is nearly to an hour, and during that time period you might see that change in market sentiment. We're looking at the potential reversal here. If the market reverses from here, there is a possibility for an entire rejection, and that's what we want to see, a break below. Okay. This is a 1-5 minutes doji, and this market failed to create a higher high, there's a possibility to entirely come down to the lower low. Are you in buy? No, we are sell. We are sell in the market. Okay, so we are running a trade, sell trade, and I believe you guys with me. Some of you are following the trade. And by the way, you can join the community. there is a some price action, that's consolidation, and that can act as a potential reversal, and that can bring that market well below back here in that market, and that could bring that market back below. Okay, so it's a bearish move that you can see has created, and you want to see that there is a possible further downside here. So we are up 22 pip and holding on to that. So 25 pip running, and we might take any time profit from. So here I'm going to take nearly to 60% of the profit, just to make sure that we are not going break even. So, and then moving stop loss at entry. So you're looking at nearly to. So in my lot, I will be taking around 0.9 lot out. So the rest I will be running for the full TP and moving the stop loss at entry. So it's now risk-free trade. So I moved the stop loss. My stop loss is here now. So it's a risk-free trade and majority of the profit is taken. So I moved the stop loss at entry and so the stop loss at entry, and you're gonna see that what's happening here. And this market, because there is a news coming and the spike can go down, so we'll keep running some part of the position for in case the market is coming down back below, and it can come because there is a news coming, because it's a risk-free trade. In case going spike up, we will be out, but with the partial here, if the market is coming down, we can run the rest of the position. So nearly to 230 pip taken. So thank you, welcome. Hey guys, in this trade, can you share your thought, and also what's your thought in the upcoming news? I'm posting as a poll. Okay, I'm posting as a poll. Do you think that spike down or up? You can predict the spike. So there's coming up in few minutes unemployment claims. And what's your thought on the upcoming unemployment claims? So I'm posting as a poll. If you guys cast that vote, will be helpful, because that's we can see that total sentiment, which way it is going. So there are some, it is trying to form a double bottom here, and that might try to push the price back up. We're looking at here for, so if it is downtrend, we could see that downside further back below, and there's one hour candle close coming here. So with this 1 hour candle close, it is possible for the market to come down or breaking above. So this is a risk-free trade now with us, and we'll be waiting to see what's coming up later, because after the news it may again prepare for another move. All right, so we'll see that where it is heading. So it might go up for cross this high. If it goes to the entry, we might be exit with the rest of the position break even. I'd like to see where it is heading. Okay, so this is the current move that you can see the market is approaching the key level, and it might be a starting of another upside bias, or it may. So I'm out with the rest of the position. We will be looking at again further entry opportunity as soon as it appears with the upcoming news. And if you look at, there is unemployment claims coming in few minutes, so this is gonna be really a big market mover. Okay, so if you look at this unemployment claims, big market mover, and once the market settle down again with the new move, we can expect this market to prepare again for another move. So as we are looking at the moment to see that where it is heading. What's your thought? You can share your opinion using the poll that has been posted. Okay, so still at the current levels, and we are looking at new fresh market structure. Here is the 4-hour chart that you can see from this support level. There is an initial bounced back to the upside here, and the market has reached that level where there is a high area of value. If we look at the 1 hour, we can see that from this 1 hour perspective, there is a stronger breakout which has created a significant move back to the upside. From the 30 minutes perspective, that we can see also the market has created this move back to the upside. Now this is a from the 5-minute chart that you can see there was a break below and we have entered. Now this market can now eventually come back here, or it can trend back above. If it trend back above, then we might see that the market going to hit this level here. So we'll see that after the data. So the 1 hour close, and that's gonna give us really good understanding about the market structure later. Here is the lower time frame. So double bottom bounce here, and thank you. Yes, you're welcome. We're looking at, because it was a tight entry, and we are looking at because after the news there will be again volume in the market, and this is what we are looking at for the volume in the market, so that you can have a better entry opportunity again in the market. So this is the, if you look at the 1 minute again, it's breaking to the upside and there's a double bottom. It may preparing for another bullish move, and there's a gap open on MT4 that I see, and that gap open can be a sign of further upside, or you could see the market to trend back down here. We'll see that where it is heading. And okay, that means it's gonna try to push further. It's a bullish engulfer from the 1 hour, so showing that okay, that's a big rejection here. Now, especially before the market reverse the price does this, it creates a lot of up and down, and this move could be a sign of reversal, or we could see that the market to bounce off that level again. Look at this, is a very long rejection from this high. and it might even come back to retest this low here, and I think it's possible for the market to drop down again for another retest back below. So this is a break below here, and that break below can bring that market back to this support, or you could see that bounce off. Okay, now I would like to wait to see that what kind of market structure it might be creating. So there's a long wick doji, and with the upcoming data coming here, we are seeing that the market is slowly this drop can bring that market back well here below to this support. we see back-to-back two dojis here, and that is where, because there are back-to-back two dojis, the market may eventually the imbalance is in that direction. Now the news might play a vital role here, okay, for this market to shift in any direction. This is a straight drop to this order block, and maybe just an order flow. Okay, so once the market again prepare, because when you see that this kind of breakdown that we have seen, this kind of drop here, that's not a very healthy trending move. So the market still, there is a possibility for again going back to the resistance line, and if it creates this kind of structure, we will be looking at riding the trend here. So we close the trade, sell trade with the previous one, 30 pip. So we are looking at 15 minutes. There is data coming that can create significant move in the market. And before that, we see there is a volatility. There has been significant volatility, and that's potentially a news reaction that we see. And with that news reaction, the market may now show up again. Once you see that the price has created a clear confirmation in this area. So you see that there was a long big bearish engulfer has formed. That long big bearish engulfer can be a sign of further drop here, or sometime this kind of move can be a potential starting of bigger break below. So depending on what kind of market structure is forming, we'll look at to see whether we can find trading opportunity. This is a doji that has formed, and in that area we are looking at the market structure to show up proper entry opportunity. If you look at this, is a support has tested, and we'll see that coming up in few minutes data. And with this data coming, as this market is, let's delete all of that and look for the fresh entry. Here is the market with this doji, it's breaking below. So once the market managed to entirely trend down here, so with a one green candle, and then just we saw that there was a complete rejection back below from this higher price. Daily market, that you can see the market structure is maintaining this downtrend here in that area. the price dropped to the daily support, and with this break below to this daily support, here is we are looking at the market and expecting the price to test that low and then return again back above here in that market. Okay, guys, so what's your thought on now? How much is your spread, please? Okay, so my broker spread is so high, it's making it so difficult. Okay, 50-50 kind of situation here. This is what you see. The broker I use, I have put a link in the description. If you guys want to check out, you can find link below this video in the description. Hi everyone, thank you. Yeah, there is a, if you look at, because of the market structure is sideways. If you look at the overall, like, you know, if you look at the bigger picture, then the market really becomes very clear. And see how the market trended, right? This is a very interesting. So here it was a big trend. Now looking from here to this level, okay, massive trend here, all bullish, and then there was downtrend, now on a sideways. So if you look at this one, is a entirely sideways market, and that sideways market is what making it so sometime if you look at this kind of sideways market, okay, you see that it barely trends. And when there is a sideways market, there is only one way you can trade this market, is to wait for the price to go to a very key level, right? So if you look at, this is the 15 minutes chart, and in any time frame extending in any direction from the trend, deviating from the trend line, and then preparing for a move. So again, going to the 4 hour, and you can see that how the market structure has formed. Okay, there is only one trend here. This trend has formed, this one has formed on last, I think the week before, on Friday, and there's another one here. These two move was significant, and then here it was a complete narrow sideways market, okay, in that area. So, and then after this sideways, create another move here, and now what we can see in this area here, this is a very random and also sideways. So that sideways market could potentially be ending, because there's a weekly, if you look at, this is the weekly market structure, and breaking any direction from this weekly market structure, if you look at, this is a support, and also there's another support here, and breaking any of this sideways market can give you a big move in this market. So Therefore, anytime the price is approaching any key support or resistance, that's where you are looking at entry opportunity. And we see the data is coming in just a matter of 5 minutes, right? And I shared a poll. If you guys want to access you can share your thought. I have already been taking on. How can I join your affiliate? Welcome. You can join the below. There is a free Telegram community. You guys can join there and get more information about education and all the other promotions. So it's a free signal channel where I do share some of the trades and also analysis as well as the education. Scalping, welcome. With a long wick here, that you can see there is a long wick, and prices reach that key level. So you see there is an entirely choppy market, and so lower time frame, there is a, from here it's getting upside again. So this is a very unusual price action that you can see here. So you can see there are some if we look at the lower time frame, this is 30 minutes. There is a long wick, and this market may bring that price well below here, because if the price eventually drop from that high, there is imbalance here as we discussed, so possibility here for the market to come down well below. And so there's a 5 minutes doji is being formed here. So the 15 minutes is bearish, and from the 1 minute that you can see after break of this high, the market again rejected back below. Scalping buy. From my understanding, Powell was so bearish on the dollar. If I get the correctly, it means we are bullish on gold and other commodities. 1 hour, see the fractal change and a retest of order block buy for 9.5 can be good. 4195. Firstly, if we look at the daily price section, we see that so far from very beginning, like when the market opened here, and the market has bounced off this level, and we see there is a series of lower high has created. If you look at here, you can see that, and that series of lower high is an absolute bearish move. And because there was a series of lower high in this uptrend, there is a stronger rejection. Now at this point, what we are seeing, the market from the daily, if we look at the high here, okay, this is a, let's remove this line here, and we can see that there is a distinct pattern that we can observe here, triple top, right? And they are equally series of lower high, and with that series of lower high, the market reacted to that level. So now where the price could go back here is most likely, because there is the market is rejecting from a very high, we could see the price most likely to come back to this previous daily low, okay, to this previous daily low, and that previous daily low is where there is a high area of value. And if you look at this 1 hour candle that you can see, this green one, this green bullish candle didn't play out much strongly. So this green candle that you can see, if you look at here, it didn't play out much strongly, and therefore the market is here creating this from the intraday sideway. Now at this point, because there is a rejection from this higher price, there's a chance for the market to test this low. Now we see that whenever the price is going to the resistance, there is a very strong drop coming from the, that means the pressure from the seller. Okay, so if you look at here, you can see this is a selling pressure here, and that selling pressure could bring that market potentially back below. Okay, looking at here, from the multiple time frame that you can see, there is a query up and down, and the market is not trending here, which is the first thing that you can see. So but I do not consider it as a very strong trending market here. Very choppy. Now this market eventually can create if you look at here, it's in this area This is a very important level of resistance, support and resistance here. And very choppy, guys. So this is a, when the market moves in such a choppy market, this is if you want to look at 1 hour, almost the price reached that high peak again. So the current sessions market is here, that reached that level. Yesterday, Powell said new job opportunities have not increased. More people are employed. Today's unemployment claims data has just emphasized that, he said. Have 2-week dollar buying towards 65. Okay, so Unemployment claims has risen, right? The forecast was 220, it moved to 236k. So higher unemployment claims, okay, how does that impact the gold price and dollar price? Let's look at that here. So this is where the DXY, it's getting bearish with a gap open. A bearish DXY normally creates bullish gold. Okay, this is a rule of thumb here that you can see. Now, but gold, we see that so far behaving little unpredictably, okay, because this market on gold, we can see this pretty choppy at the moment, and that's choppy market is what making it very unpredictable. Because if you look at DXY, you can see there is a very predictable trend here on DXY. Okay, so DXY trend that you can read it, you can understand that this is a trend and it's a clean downtrend here on DXY. But with gold, it might turn to slowly a bullish market structure, but you see that it's currently showing choppy, okay, and this 1 hour candle that you can see, not a very so the break below that we have seen, one single drop and the market now pushing that price back again. If the price breaks the resistance and create a new higher high, that is where you can look at possible entry in this market. It's already overextended. And this is, to me, is still possibility for to be bearish. Okay, so I will be opening a short-term selling opportunity here from this level, keeping the stop loss above this high. So it's gonna be a very tight stop loss sell order by market. If the market goes down for this initial drop, I will be on the trade. So it's a sell by market from this level with a stop loss above this high, stop loss at 4225.7. So it's a reversal trade, and like to catch the move here. Now the market entirely have a reaction from that level because this is a 4-hour chart. It's an overextension. From the 1 hour also it's an overextension, and it drops, looking for nearly 200 pip move back below. And by the way, traders, if you're enjoying the live session, make sure you like this stream and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. Press the notification bell so that you are not missing any of the content that I'm posting every day. Now here is doji. Now if the market here getting reaction from this high here, would say that the price to continue to drop back below. This price action close now important to see. So you open from a resistance. The reason I put a very tight stop loss is because if the market breaks above and candle close above, and I do not want to run this trade anymore. So this is a ranging market, and that's why I'm on this market trading from high and low, from this support and resistance. There is a possibility, and I'm holding on to this trade. So there is a 1 hour candle closed and closing coming, and before the candle close we see that there is a downside bearish price action so far, and with this 1 hour close you see that this is closing potentially as a doji. Big pin bar, and see if the market ready to do anything with this trade to see what happening. Okay, still running in, and okay, so it's still running in here, and with this trade I'm closing it now at this level, as there is a break below. This is the second trade you want to close in profit. I've closed the trade because you are almost nearing to the end of the session. So I have closed in profit with this trade for around 20 pip nearly, by the way. And the market structure has formed is this is where there is a two-way market structure. That I would say there is a two-way market structure. This market structure can act as a bearish pressure, back below here, or it can act as a bullish market structure and going back to the high again. So I'm out with the trade with the running profit because the market was pretty choppy, and at the end of the session we might see the trend, but at the moment we can see that there is a very interesting market structure being formed. And here I am looking at later potential further entry as soon as it appears, it shows up to give us a good entry. By the way, we had few trades closed in successfully today, and tomorrow guys, invite you to join the live session here tomorrow coming up. It's weekend, right? So last day of trading week is always a very special day in terms of the move in the market, because last day of trading where you could see that there is a volume at the end of the session, so we will be looking at from that perspective. That being said, thank you for joining here, and for more update, education as well as analysis, trade setup, you can also join the Telegram community. You can find link below this video where there are some trades being shared and also education being shared. So I invite you to join there to learn and grow as a trader. That being said, thanks for joining here, and I'll see you again guys with update coming later. Until that, stay well, stay happy.